Hotep, my brothers and my sisters, I greet you in our ancient Kemetic language, which is Hotep, which means peace, and Amandla, which means power, power to the people. Hey, it's a blessing to be alive today. I'm sorry I am a little late. I have some things to do, but I'm glad to be here today. And we welcome you. I'll play a song and let a few people know that we're on. Hopefully they'll be notified, and then we're going to move into our podcast. I say, all right, let me play this song. I was born by the river in a little tent. Like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it is. Then I go to my brother. And I say, brother, let me but he wound up knocking back down on me. There been times that I thought I couldn't last for long. Now I think I'm able, Father, to carry on. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gonna come. Oh, yes it is, yes it is, yes it is. Said I know that a change is gonna come one day. I know a change gonna come. Yes it is. I know. Said life can be hard. Oh yeah. And times can get rough. But still I know. Still I know a change gonna come. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. My brothers and my sisters, once again, greetings, greetings, Hotep, which means peace. Those of you may tune in for the first time, excuse me, who may tune in for the first time. My name is James Anyabwile Wilson. I am the spiritual teacher, aka awakener of the God in Action Ministry Spiritual and Cultural Sister platform and podcast. We welcome you. We do not take your presence lightly. I ask of you, it will not cost you a dime, that if you are tuning in or you tuning later, please share this with someone. Let someone know that we're on live. All right. Each one reach one, each one teach one. Because what I'm going to share, it will inspire people if they taking their life seriously to begin to do the work on themselves so they can heal, so they can begin to live a more of an abundant life. All right. So please share with 3 to 5 people. Let them know that we're on. We appreciate that very much. And we also ask you, because we're trying to build up our YouTube page. If you can go to now or later on, the YouTube platform, James Anyabwile, the name at the bottom of the screen, James Anyabwile, YouTube. Could you please go there to subscribe, to share, to like, and press the notification button so when we come on, you know that you will be notified. We would appreciate that. Okay, right now we're on playing live on this platform, Facebook, and on YouTube. Okay, we'll appreciate that very, very, very much. I just want to let you know something about me, brothers and sisters. My mission is to inform, not convince. Also, to encourage you to be more of an analytical and critical thinker so that no one can just put something past you that sounds good and you just take it in face value. You know, I want to encourage you to be a researcher. If I say something that you don't agree with, research it. If I say something that you do agree with, you still research it. I say, all right, good. Brother Chris in the house. How you doing, my brother? I know I said I was gonna come on at 12:30, but I was able to come on a little earlier. So I hope my notifications went out. And I can only see one name. If anybody out here, you know, go hang with your brother. If you're on, I don't see you, but I'm going to go in, and if anyone's interested in this content, they'll go look at it. Ashe? All right, here we go. If you saw on the platform, the title of the message today is Moving from Victim to Survivor to Thriver. Moving from victim to survivor to thriver. And I'm going to deal with each of those little topic labels, okay? And hopefully you get something out of it that will help your life. Moving from victim to survivor to thriver. What is a victim? A victim. In the dictionary, it says a victim is a person harmed or injured as a result of a crime, accident, or other event or action. All right. And I think I can say this confidently that in some way, shape, or form, all of us have been victims. People, places, and things. We've been victims. Or we know someone who have been victimized. I'm just laying my foundation. There are many people who have been injured or harmed mentally or emotionally, spiritually, and even physically, right? And they have suffered deep wounds and scars that are still negatively impacting and infecting their life, you know? And when this happens, like if it's not dealt with properly, if the wounds the inner wounds and the scars are not dealt with properly, right? Or those wounds are not healed, that a lot of us received as far back as childhood. All right? So if it's not dealt with properly, or if it's not healed, a person or you will continue to live as a victim to whatever it was that hurt you, harmed you, or injured you. Am I making sense? So when the person chooses to continue living in victim mode, that means you're giving too much power over to the traumatic experience or whoever victimized you. Let me take my time, brothers and sisters. And when you do that, in doing so, that'll prevent you from living an empowered life, a balanced life, a joy-filled life, and leaving you stuck living as a defeated victim. The ball is in our court. And when, if a person continue or lives as a defeated victim, guess what will happen? They'll continue to play in their mind everything that had happened to them day in and day out. It's like a record. I was there. I used to be there, right? Constantly playing all their traumatic experiences. And as a result of playing it all day long, it could be very draining and very torturous. All you're doing is reliving all the disappointments and the fear and the terror and the trauma and the abandonment that you experienced, and the rejection that you experienced, and the guilt that you felt, the depression that fell upon you, the sadness, the heartache and pain, when you're constantly replaying what traumatic situations that happened to you. That's when someone is stuck in victim mode. And when you get caught in victim mode, all these things come upon you. I'm just listing them off. And happiness and joy and peace and calm will always escape you. And when I say you, brothers and sisters, I'm talking to myself first. I'm sharing with you what the Spirit gave for me. I felt it was valuable and worthy enough to share it with you. I just want to remind you, brothers and sisters, that there's more than life. There's more to life than what have happened to you. There's more to life than your traumatic experiences. So therefore, we have to be very careful that we do not get stuck in victim mode. As though we all have been victims, and we know have people who have been victimized, it's a blessing. Oh yes, it's a blessing surviving whatever it was that caused the hurt, the injury, the pain, and the harm in our life. It's a blessing to be able to survive that. Do you know that when someone goes through traumatic situations, harmful situations, injured, deep-seated wounds and stuff like that, and resilient and survives, they call them born survivors. You're a born survivor. I am a born survivor. What is a survivor, brothers and sisters? We talk about moving from victim to survivor. What is a survivor? A survivor is a person who survives or remain alive after an event in which others were unfortunate to survive from. We're not trying to compare our lives with other people's unfortunate situations, but we're just looking at the blessing that we survived when we was a victim of people, places, and things. It's a blessing to survive. It's a blessing to be a born survivor. And also what survivor, another meaning of survivor, and I like this one. It says a person who copes well with difficulties in life. A person who copes well with difficulties in life. Once I said it is, again, it's a blessing to be known as a survivor, a born survivor, because there were people who had experienced what we had experienced and even less than what we had experienced, but did not survive it. Or if they did survive it, they was maimed. Their life was so derailed to the point it would never, ever, ever, ever be close to the same. Do I have any witnesses? Do you know somebody? Did it happen to you? Though we should be very grateful to the Creator, I say, and the prayers of our grandmamas and our mothers and fathers who worried and was concerned, and on our own prayers. So, it's a blessing. And though we should be grateful, very grateful to have survived your traumatic experience in life, right? But I've learned something. I've learned something, brothers. So let me share with you what I learned. Just living in survival mode or being good at coping with difficulties in life is not really living a life to our fullest potential. It's not even living a life to our full potential, even though we survived. And should be grateful to have survived. And we know it's a blessing to survive and be called a born survivor. But this living in survival mode, I have to say it again, is not really living a good life. It's not really living life to the fullest potential. It's living in survival mode. Like it says, a survivor is someone who copes well with life difficulties. Everybody copes with life difficulties differently. There's no one set way of doing it. Everyone does it differently. Now there's some people who they go through life situations, they self-medicate. And what I'm reading here, I did it all. They self-medicate, smoking weed, popping pills, drinking alcohol. You got others who cope by overeating, excessive shopping, sleeping around, sexing from bed to bed to bed. Oh, that's not normal. Oh, I'm just got a high sexual appetite. No, you're promiscuous because there's some deep-rooted trauma that have not been dealt with, and you are in survival mode trying to cope with it so it does not overpower your mind, overpower your emotions, overpower your life. So people do these things to cope. But when you find yourself doing all kinds of things to try to deal or cope with those people, places, and things that are responsible or somewhat responsible for those inner scars and wounds that you have suffered, was afflicted upon you as far as childhood, far back as childhood, when you try to deal with it all the time and coping mechanism, all kind of things you try to do to keep it from overpowering your life. Usually when that happens is because whatever traumatized you, it keeps rising up in your mind. And when it rises up in your mind, it triggers all these negative emotions. Then you go out to try to self-medicate with those things I just listed. And when you find yourself trying to do a whole bunch of things to cope with life difficulties, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, a survivor is one who copes well with life difficulty, but we all have different ways of coping. But when you find yourself doing all kinds of things, questionable things to cope, it can mean that whatever happened, the trauma that you're experiencing, the wounds and the scars that you have, was never dealt with from the root. You thought it was gone, but all you did, you became an expert at suppressing it and repressing it, but it took the right situation, the right environment to trigger it to the surface. What am I saying, brothers and sisters? living just in survival mode after any kind of abuse or a trauma, racism, hatred, rejection, abandonment, etc. It can be draining and very difficult. Because I tapped on this a little earlier, because day after day after day, it just have you focused on coping with life difficulties, battle mode, protective defensive mode, fighting mode, coping every day, focused on coping with life difficulties instead of living life more abundantly. It's a difference. Are you hearing me, brothers and sisters? We talking about moving from victim to survivor to thriver. And I throw another one in there. After you reach those things, you become inspirer. Like Brother Navek be dropping those jewels. And some of you be dropping those, Brother Ty B be dropping those jewels, and Queen Amar be dropping those jewels. Become an inspirer. And my brother Chris dropping those jewels. And whoever be on my platform commenting, dropping those jewels. That's why I'm open to comments. I love reading your comments. Moving from victim to survivor. I'm almost there, y'all. To thriver. When our African ancestors were forced to come to the hells of North America in the hulls of ships, packed like sardines in their own filth, urine, and vomit, and feces. When they came in the hells of, forced to come to the hells of North America, they was forced in what is called chattel slavery, the most demonic, diabolic, satanic European slave system that ever been created on this earth. So for 400 years, under the whip of the devils, they were not permitted to live a quality life, a peaceful life, a productive life, a pleasant life, a healthy life, a fearless life. They were forced to live with trauma, in fear, and in terror. In other words, our ancestors, brothers and sisters, they had to live for 400 years in survival mode. And I said earlier, the survival survivor is one who copes well with life difficulty. They were not living, it was just coping. When you go to the dentist, you have a toothache. You want to get it pulled. They put a Novocaine in your mouth. Then they pull your tooth. The pain is not gone. The Novocaine helps you cope with the pain. So therefore, it's helping you to it's helping you to live in pain peacefully. That's what the Novocaine is. And our ancestors had to do the same thing. Cope. They didn't have access to psychotherapists, behavioral therapists. They didn't have access to therapy and counseling to help them heal from their deep scars and wounds. No, they didn't have all that stuff. They were those deep scars and wounds that was afflicted upon them by the hands of the master, who was really not the master, but a disaster. When they had to experience it, I need to go there. They had to experience it, you know what I'm saying? But they learned how to cope with the hand that the enslavers dealt them. But brother, didn't you just say that was a blessing to move from victim to survivor? Yeah, I did. And I also said I learned that living in survival mode, you're not living to your life full potential. You're just coping, not living. My brothers and sisters, in order to move from victim to survivor to being a thriver, it's going to take a people, a person who refuse to settle with just surviving, just making it, just getting over, just getting by. You have to refuse to park yourself in any of those things. None of those things. You're going to have to refuse to park there because there's some generational chains and pains and wounds that will even pass down to you. And you suffered your own. And to be a thriver, you're going to have to position yourself so you can be able to heal, so you can move from victim to survivor to thriver. See, brothers and sisters, I say it's time. Tell yourself it's time. Or if you share this with somebody and have a discussion, say it the way you say it. Make them say this to themselves or encourage them to say to themselves, self, it's time for me to move from victim to survivor to thriver. What's a thriver, brother? You gave us a definition of what a victim was and how destructive it can be if you stay there, get stuck there. You told us the blessings of being a survivor. You gave us the definition of survival, but you also told us that when you just surviving mode, you're not living life to your full potential. Now you talk about a thriver. What's a thriver, brother? A thriver is someone who not only goes through threatening life situations or events, but they show growth because of their experience. Are you know what I'm saying? In other words, now that you had to go through it, whatever it was, you had to go through. We can't turn back the clock. We can't turn back time. How Big Mama used to say is water under a bridge. You can't, whatever, spilt milk. I forgot what that was. Okay. So and what we're saying is now that you had to go through it, now that you went through it, now that you're in it, don't just go through it, grow through it. Let me read what a thriver is again. A thriver is someone who not only goes through threatening life events, but shows growth because of the experience. Don't just go through it, grow through it, brothers and sisters. And as I said at the onset, all of us have been victims of something or someone. All of us, if we are still alive, are born survivors. Now we want to move to that higher level of living. We want to be thrivers. A thriver have learned to use the deep wounds and scars that they have suffered. They use them as stepping stones, not weight jackets where it wears you down, but as stepping stones or fuel to propel them towards mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional healing and empowerment. That's what a thriver learns to do. You just can't do it. You have to learn how to do it because we've been living in victim mode for so long, survival mode for so long. So we have to undo that type of thinking and learn how to live as a thriver. It's not going to be easy, brothers and sisters, but hell is worth it. Life ain't easy. Ain't gonna never be easy. You may have some easy spurts here and there, but life is difficult. thriver. You and I have to refuse to continue living like a victim or a survivor and begin to reach our goal, put in the necessary work to be a thriver. I'm going to keep using that because I'm coming to my land. I want this to stick. A thriver is one who unlocks their full potential and strive to live their best life now. They don't wait till next year for no New Year resolution. They don't wait till someone they connected to change first. Let's change together. Let's do this together. I'll wait for you. Heck no. No. They unlock their full potential and strive to live their best life now, waiting for no one. It's a selfish thing. It's not selfish. It's just putting yourself first, loving yourself first. There's nothing wrong with that. Are you hearing me, somebody? Sometimes the wounds and the scars that was inflicted upon us, right, run so deep that some people might need some professional help. They need some spiritual counseling. They may need some support groups. Oh, yes. Family and friends who want to see them win so they can help them overcome and become a thriver after they live as a victim and as they already lived as a survivor. I used to be that type one. All you need is God. All you need is Jesus. All you need is get saved. Go to the church. That's not the all in all, y'all. I'm not saying that stuff is not helpful. I'm not saying it's not helpful, because when you're around positive people, that's always helpful. When you're around a group of people who's trying to do what you're trying to do, the right thing, that's always positive. But that's not the only answer, because the church is not equipped or knowledgeable enough to deal with a lot of the scars and inner scars and wounds that we have. And an anointing someone is not going to heal it. Singing a whole bunch of songs or getting the Holy Ghost is not going to heal it. Saying your salat in Islam, you're not going to heal it. Changing your diet, it'll change the physical and the mental, but it's not going to heal those deep-seated wounds that you have suffered. Like I said, even as far as childhood, not alone what we're dealing with right now. I hope what I'm saying is helping you. Somebody might say, okay, brother, he gave us 3 points, and I don't want to call this some 3-step program, because everybody deals with life differently. Everybody got their own time when they when they accomplish their goals. So I ain't gonna say it's a 3-step program. No, it ain't no 3-step program. These are suggestions. These are areas that we park ourselves. It can be very detrimental to our lives, right? The victim and survivor. And we have to push towards being a thriver. So it's not a 3-step program. Some steps that we have to take to get to the point we want to get to. Are you hearing me, brothers and sisters? Here's a few suggestions that I'm going to land this plane. Some suggestions and recommendations. I do not give advice. I just inform, not convince. You come to your own conclusions and do what's right best for your life. Here's a few suggestions and recommendations that can help you get at least the ball rolling towards your goal of being a thriver. Okay? Number 1, this is key. Number 1, definitely involve the God, the creator in your life. You have to recognize the God and creator in your life. Or you want to say one greater than yourself, fine. And I say no religion, join a religion. I don't say you have to get baptized or take Salat or pray this. I didn't say that. Just recognize there's one greater than yourself. And that one greater than yourself lives in you. Always with you. Always ready to empower you. When you tap in to what you need, the power that you need. That's number one. Then you replace negative thoughts with positive ones. Meaning get rid of your stinking thinking. I had to go through behavioral therapy. What was called cognitive restructuring. Because I've learned you are what you think. And I had some traumatic experiences in my life, and it had my mind racing constantly, repeating it over and over and over and over and over again until it wore me out. Thought I was going crazy. This was years ago before I really understood a lot of this stuff. Anxiety. Up all night, couldn't sleep, mind racing. My mind had a mind of its own. So I had to get some behavioral therapy, you know what I'm saying? What it's called cognitive restructuring. Because you are what you think. So replace negative thoughts with positive ones. It's going to be difficult because you did something for so long one way, now you have to go against the grain. It's not going to be easy, but it has to be intentional, purposely, and intentional and deliberate to work against that old mindset. Then you have to make conscious decisions to shift your thoughts from merely being a victim or a survivor, but a thriver. Now you have to see yourself differently. You have to view yourself differently. Okay? I know what somebody told you. I know what you believe. I know how you see yourself when you look in the mirror or what happened to you. You got to learn how to look at yourself differently. You are not that. You are not what happened to you. You are not what somebody did to you. You're not your faults or your mistakes or your shortcomings. Are you hearing me, brothers and sisters? So you have to begin to look at yourself differently. If you're going to look at yourself, say you're beautiful and you're wonderfully made. You're beautiful, gifted, and black. Or whatever color you are or nationality you are, if you're listening, learn to love yourself. Are you hearing me? And so when you learn how to move beyond all your painful and traumatic experiences, they'll no longer have that death grip on you mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally. Right now, if you're not a thriver, just stuck in victim mode and survival mode, those things, whatever it is wreaking havoc in your life. It's disturbing your peace. But once you get a handle on those things, it will not impact your life in a negative way like it did at one time. It won't have the same power. You'll start taking the power out of whatever it is, people, places, and things, experience, situation, circumstance, whatever it is. You start taking your power back. Take your power back. And move from victim to survivor to thriver. And once you get to that point, then you start becoming an inspirer. Each one, reach one, each one, teach one. You help somebody else. Because if you make a path for yourself to reach a positive goal and don't make a path for someone else to reach that goal, what you have done is useless. It was good for you, but useless for anyone else. Anyone come behind you or come behind me. So brothers and sisters, I hope that you got something out of this message today. I want to take my time and I trust. And I ask that you please, once again, share this with some people. I see 3 people sharing. I'll be getting more views than that. I don't get 1 billion views, but I get more than 3. And got 3 people or 4, here and there sharing. Somebody watching, but hey, just take the time out, love on your brother. Let me know you enjoy that you like the content, and share it with someone. Help someone, because you know somebody who needs it. I know, if not you, somebody. I know. Because this message is for all of us. I don't care who you are, male or female, black or white. It's for all of us. And we should be able to identify with some stuff in here. I know for fact. Life ain't over. So please share with somebody. And also, please go to the YouTube once again. James Anyabwile is at the bottom of the screen. How you spell the name, James Anyabwile, right? Go there, subscribe, like, press notification bell, be informed when we come on, and also share. Would appreciate that if you have not done that already. And those of you who would like to support us, keep our platform going so we can pay for our life. Life ain't free. Technology, internet. You can't get the cheap internet to do what we do. Have to get the best internet. And but I'm not putting that on you. It's gonna happen regardless, because this is what I want to do. Is my gift to you. As long as I can do it. If I don't have it to do, I can't do it. So those of you who want to help out, you can do that. Look at the bottom of the screen, how you can give a donation or contribute something towards us. We're not telling you what you need to give. Anything would help. Okay. And those of you who may do it or will do it, we thank you in advance. And those of you who don't want to do it or can't do it, we thank you for tuning in. And we just ask that you just share the information with other people. All right. So our information, if you desire to give, is our Cash App is $GIAM number 20, and PayPal.me/HOTEP, which is Hotep number 2. Look at the bottom of the screen, right? And if you know someone who is looking for something to support that has our people best interests in mind, all people, but our people in particular, give them this information. Maybe they want to donate to something positive. You know what I'm saying? Instead of giving it to the liquor man and the pizza man and the hot wings, buffalo wing man and the weed man and the cigarette man and the coffee and donut people. They may want to do something that's going to benefit their life and their loved ones. Share this information with them. Share the Cash App with them. You know what I'm saying? Let them know, hey, I got something, brother and sister. It's something you can put $1 to, $5 to. Oh yeah, man. This will help you and your family. Help our people. Yeah, man. Sell it like you sell a movie. When you go to a movie, you tell people, man, go see that movie. How much is it? $20, but go see it. And they go see it because you done advertised the hell out of that thing. You made it so attractive. They went. Do that when it comes to this platform. Hey, man, it's this platform. Hey, yo, brother, oh, sister, oh, man, you should check it out. Well, you support that thing. All right. My time is up, brothers and sisters. Thank you for listening. I appreciate you. I leave out of here as I came in with a Hotep, which means peace. Amandla, which means power. Power to the people. My time is up. See you next time, brothers and sisters. Thank you for your support. Peace and love.